The best part of my day, without question, is helping a skill bridger or a veteran connect with a job that truly excites them, one that pays them what they deserve and offers the responsibilities and opportunities to help their career thrive. A few months ago, I had the privilege of meeting Alahandra Duncan, a distinguished military veteran who was facing long-term unemployment. Many of us can relate to the stress of being out of work, of watching the bills pile up, and the weight of the uncertainty. It's a tough place to be where life can start to feel like it's unraveling. With a bit of mentoring, encouragement, and support, Alahandra turned things around and landed in an amazing position with the Department of Homeland Security. His journey is nothing short of inspiring. Listen to this powerful story. It is proof of what resilience and the right guidance can achieve.
Well, in the military, I was a heavy construction operator. I started off as a heavy construction operator from 2000 to 2004. And I went to Afghanistan in 2003, doing heavy construction projects for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. I went to Afghanistan July 3rd of 2003. That was a tough time. We went to Afghanistan. We first got there, and what we were there to do were to fix roads, fix bridges, knock mountains back so, roads get better. But, they told us we had that was canceled, and we were going to clear minefields. So I cleared minefields for about 10 months in Afghanistan until the ground got too cold. And when the teeth couldn't get in the ground. So then, we went to doing security after that. And then I became an automated logistics specialist, learning how to run warehouses, learning how to do logistics channel, logistics management, things like that. And also I was a purchasing officer. And then I found out I was sick. Then I got medevaced from Germany to Washington, D.C. And Washington, D.C., I was in the medical hold unit, and I was medically retired December 22nd, 2006 from disease that I got in Afghanistan. After that, it was kind of tough on me because, you've been doing this thing, you put everything into it, and then all of a sudden they tell you, Sergeant, you can't do it anymore. Because, I had kidney failure, liver disease, lung disease, I had a disease in my eyes, and I had a skin disorder. And it was really bad. I came home, I went to Afghanistan 210 pounds and came home 130. It was rough. And I'll tell you a funny story. My wife and kids drove past me 3 times at the airport before they recognized who I was. The thing I took from it was the entire journey got me to where I am now. You know what I'm saying? And I've never felt sorry for myself. I never blamed anybody. These are the cards I was dealt. Some people would have folded. But I got a great wife. I've been married 32 years. Got a great wife that takes great care of me. I got 2 great kids. Everybody can't say that. Everything isn't perfect, but I got a damn good family that took care of me. And, it got to a point, my wife said, after a few weeks of, sobbing around, she's like, okay, what we're going to do? So after that, what's funny, she got sick and we had to go to Walter Reed. I've seen one of my buddies from the Army. He said, hey man, you want to be a cop? I said, a cop? I'm like, yeah. He was like, you've done security before. So I became a cop at Walter Reed. And after that, I did that for a while. I got really good at being a cop. I thought working on a military base. And I did that from 2007 to 2016. And in 16, Homeland Security recruited me. And I went over to Homeland Security from 2016 to 2023. And I was an inspector for Homeland Security, doing physical security assessments for federal facilities in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. And I did my last 5 years of the last administration, the Trump administration. I did pretty much every protest in the United States. I went to every protest. All the ones you saw on TV, George Floyd, Portland, Kenosha, Louisville, Atlanta. I went to all of them, and my body just got worn out. So I went to FDA for a little while. And then I started getting sick again because, being a cop, working at night, 12-hour shifts, working in D.C. I don't know if you've been to D.C. or not. D.C. is a tough city to work night shift. And I did it for, 10 years.
Wow.
So after all that was done, I took a little time off. And then once my doctor said I could come back to work, it was kind of tough trying to find work. And then I ran into this guy on LinkedIn named Jordy. And you said, join that Zoom class. I got a Zoom class. I said, talked to my wife. I said, I don't know this guy, man. He may have some stuff. So I sat through the first one. I didn't put my picture up. I just listened. I'm like, man, some of this stuff sounds. And then the next meeting, I put my picture up, and then we started talking. And then you were talking to, I can't remember the guy's name. He had been trying to find jobs for a while, and he found one. I can't remember the guy. I just can't remember his name. I wish I could remember. And you told him, he was telling us his story that he found a job, and then he had put in all these applications. And then you started going down the line about LinkedIn, how you changed the picture, how you put a professional picture up. The only thing you told me that wasn't true, that it was going to take longer than it really did. It didn't take that long, because I followed your recipe and literally it worked to perfection. Okta recruited me. I found the job just to pay the bills. Then after that, I started getting interviews, and I was talking to, I started doing lunch dates with professionals, talking to them for 15 minutes, asking them, how did they get started? What did they do? What was the most important thing to them? What were their short-term and long-term plans? And I did like 4 of those. And I got the interview with Homeland Security again, and I called you and I told you about the interview. I came back home from Georgia, and you helped me for 3 days. We talked, you told me how to put the stuff in story, how to put my answers in story form. And I thought I didn't do that good in the interview. I didn't. I was like, man, because I had everything set. This is the one interview, and I had several interviews, but this one interview you helped me with, the guy didn't get back. It was August 24th. I'll never forget it. And the guy never contacted me back. And about a month ago, he contacted me and he said, Mr. Duncan, I apologize. It's my branch chief for the new job at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center here in Cheltenham, Maryland. And he said his family's home was involved in the hurricane in South Georgia, because that's where our lead office is, in Glencoe, Georgia. And he said, I'm sorry for not getting back in contact with you, but are you still interested in the position? And I'm like, yeah, I'm still interested. He said, man, you did great on the interview. You were our top interviews, but I've been going through this, and it took him, it was August, September, it was October. So in October, they gave me the temporary offer. I had to, do drug tests and all that stuff. And I got the final offer 2 weeks ago. So now I'm a GS-13 back with the federal government. And man, I got to thank you, man, because you gave me the blueprint, and everything you told me. I mean, like I said, the only thing I don't say you lied to. The only thing you told me that did work was the timing. You said it was going to take about a year. I think you said like a year and a half. You stick to it. It took about 6 months. But I did something that you did tell me to do. I did it every day. You wanted us to, do it and take a little time, do it. I didn't. I was on LinkedIn from 4 a.m. to, do it like an 8-hour day job. But I did it from like 4 a.m. to like 4 p.m. And I was on it every day. And my LinkedIn got great. My resume was on point. And I just got an email from Pentagon for a security specialist job that they offer me. But I'm not going to take it, because, the job that I got offered is way more money than that job. And plus, this job is more hands-on with me and doing what I like to do. Working at Pentagon is there's a lot of responsibility and a lot of people. And at my time now, I got 24 years and 6 months in the federal government now. They just did an audit of my time with the federal government. I don't need to be in that high-paced anymore. I need to be exactly where I'm at. And Jordy, I want to thank you for everything you did for me. And, if people don't believe it worked, look at me. It works. Your formula, it works. So if they don't listen to it, that's on them. I know it works. I'm a pure example of, if you listen, do exactly what you say do, it works. Don't let the rejection or the USA jobs, people not contacting you back, don't let it get you. I know it can get you down. I know how it is getting 5 or 6 emails back from USA jobs saying, no, we're moving on to another position. You're qualified, you got the experience, you got the education, and they don't pick you. You're filling out applications every day, and it'll get you. It can, but stick with the process. The process that you put me through, I stuck with it, and it works. You have to stay patient. You also got to have people. You have to have a good support system. If you don't have good support, like I thought I was bothering you, man. I was calling, I was messaging you. You were like, nah, man, we would do like 10, 15 minutes a day. And it rejuvenated me when I talked to you, because you believed in your product. And from listening to you and then going through it, I'm like, this thing works, man. And you got to have a good support system. And I know how tough it is, when you know you have it and these people are not calling you back and not giving you these interviews. But if you stick with it, it will work out for you. I'm a pure example of it.